Good evening, BNI. I must tell you, the BNI has been the most energetic organization I have ever come across. I must thank BNI Pune, Bharat Daga and his colleague persuaded me some 2 years back to come to Pune, and silsila wahan se chalu. There was all members fell in love with me in half an hour's talk. Then onwards, many BNIs, and I am very happy that I am in Bangalore. And I must thank the organizers to get me such a big auditorium full of audience with full of energy, and I think they have built up so much, expectations have gone up. You know why divorce happens? Why resignation happens? Too much of expectations. Right? I hope I will entertain you for next 40 minutes, and I wish I leave you with some good number of punchlines to take home. I think people forget movies, but they carry the punchlines and dialogues, and I intend to deliver a good number of them. And can I have my first slide? I took this photograph in the month of March. I didn't know Rajinikanth is doing something similar to that. So I thought Bengaluru should have Kabali effect, and I kept that as the first slide. First time I'm experimenting, and I'm sure you just follow Rajinikanth, you will never go wrong. I will take you through my journey. It's like a story from a village, a man from a village to stock exchange. A village to a stock exchange. So the story is having 25 slides. We will take 1.5 minutes for each slide. And I'm going to answer to 10 questions. This time I'm not going to wait for you to ask the question. If you all are interested to me to answer your questions, please write in a piece of paper and pass it on to the organizer or to Ravi. Ravi, na? Rajiv. So that I will answer 10 questions, and I love answering questions also, of course, if time permits. So that is the small village, and you can notice there is an app in my village. And there is an MBA in my town. And that's the only MBA I am having. I don't have any other MBAs. Villages are true universities. Lucky are those who are born to poor. What is that? Lucky are those who are born to poor, because they have the luxury of poverty. Have you understood? Luxury of poverty is very important for everyone, and the villages, if you are born poor, you have a luxury of poverty. You can go to the Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, provided you had a poverty at an young age. Don't tell me that I am born rich, what I can do. Don't tell I am born rich, what I can do. Just remove everything except a piece of cloth in your body. Restart. Is that clear? In villages, you only have problems, and your only job is problem solving. There is no theory, all practicals and only practicals. Is that also clear? Harvard University teaches you why Nokia failed. Kya karna hai? Nokia failed dekhe. There is nothing that you learn by understanding what is Nokia failed. You know, in villages, all resources are leased. And if you have learned to work in the least resources management, you are the most successful man. And you know one thing, what is experience? Experience is not the number of years you have sat in a chair. Experience is the number of problems you have solved. A poor man at an age of 25, he has 40 years experience. Is that clear? And I had only 60 meals out of 100 meals in a month. Every man needs 100 meals in a month, and I had 60 meals. Obviously, there are people who are poorer than me also. Don't ever think that you are the poorest. Even the middle class man thinks I am the only poorest. Very sad. There is a song in Tamil, Kannadasan song, it tells, look at the people below you and you keep enjoying. Don't look at the people above you and keep crying. Will you send your children to this kind of a school? No. All will say yes because I am asking this question. If your wife is asking the question, you will have no choice. जो नीचे कभी बैठा ही नहीं है, वो कहां से ऊपर आएगा? It's very important that you need to start from there. So I was a son of a landless farmer. My father was waiting for me to fail every year. Because once I fail, I am a support in the farm. And he did not have to spend money. I'm sure all as a parents here must be making the child to get up. The child will not get up. Hold him in his hand, take a brush and put the paste in it and move the paste for the boy. The boy is still sleeping. And go and put him in the school bus and come. Doing or not? Oh God, this is the difference. Midday meal scheme, Tamil Nadu had wonderful chief ministers those days who wanted to project poor education, everything as the agenda. So they gave free meals, midday meals in the school. Because there was a meal in the school, I went to the school. In one hand a slate, in another hand a plate. Is that clear? Had that not been a meal, I would have not today become an entrepreneur. I thank all chief ministers who had introduced that scheme. So this is a photograph. Recently I went to near my school and I took a photograph so that I can make a powerful presentation. 6 kilometers I had to walk up and down every day. You know why? My school was 3 kilometers this side. My farm was 1.5 kilometers that side. Every morning I had to go to the farm, do the work, then come home, then go to school, come back home and go to the farm. Wow. Mind you, these were all important for me today to be successful. Mathematics was my subject because my mathematics teacher was very beautiful. And in the village, until I left the village had no electricity, I did not have chapels until I finished my 12th standard. Is that clear? That says absolute poverty. And no full trousers, half trousers. So that was all my father could afford. He couldn't afford the remaining part of the body. And this photograph I took, but I didn't have a photograph of that 11th standard photograph. They demanded 3 rupees 50 paisa for the group photo. I didn't have the money to buy one, and so I don't have one. Nowadays, when I go to some colleague's house, I ask, do you have that photograph? He said, yes. I could not identify who I am. And I am keeping a scanned copy of that. So this was a college in which I studied. In college, I didn't have books to study because my father couldn't buy me books and library had enough books. Look, library is the place where you can create a great impact in your life, not the cinema theaters and canteens. I scored 200 out of 200 in mathematics without a book of mathematics. I wanted to do engineering. I went to my father. I asked my father, I want to do engineering. He asked me, how many years it is? 5 years. What other option you have? BSc. How many years it is? 3 years. He told me, you join in BSc. Over. Then I taken the application prospectus for BA, BCom, BSc, common one. My father went through it. He asked me, how much is the fees for BSc? 400. BCom, 300. He told you join BCom. Too cruel, too cruel. I didn't feel like arguing because education itself is too much. How to ask for a better education? By the way, you know why I became a graduate? Oh, yeah, I wanted to become a graduate. All graduates in that area had fair-looking wives. So I was in BCom. One of my professors saw me. What are you doing here? Sir, I don't have money, so I had to join BCom. Are, engineering is all right if you don't have money. At least BSc. Sir, 100 rupees more I can't afford. He took me from there after doing 20 days of BCom course. He took me and created a BSc out of me. I remain thankful to him because otherwise this scientist would have never born. I stayed in a Harijan hostel to study because that was the only place where free food was available. And my father gave me 10 rupees per month as the pocket money. Includes soap, brush, everything a man needs for his hygiene. Also, one tea in a month and one movie of Rajinikanth in a month. It was only 30 paisa, not today's small prices, right? 30 paisa in a month in a cinema theater got you to look at entire picture live. Today it is acting. Those days we felt it is live. 5 a.m. I had to get to go to college because the school bus was charging, transport was charging 50 paisa one way, up and down 1 rupee, 25 rupees per month. The train pass was only 4.5 rupees for a month. So I purchased the train pass. The problem is college starts at 9 o'clock. The train goes at 5:50 in the morning. The college ends at 4 o'clock. College sometimes ends at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, any clock. College will not run the entire day. But the train will come only at 6:30 p.m. Imagine, every day 4 hours morning in the library, every day morning, evening 3 hours in the library, you will become a scientist. I became a scientist. There is a picture known as Padayappa. In that it is told, Valkayil Ayiram Tadaikallappa. Tadaikal ovondrum unaku padikallappa. Life has full of stumbling blocks. Each block will become a stepping stone if you are intelligent enough. And all day you sit in library, obviously first class comes, you become a first class graduate. Done. College is done. Majestically done. This is the difficult period. I failed in 50 interviews. Can you imagine? How many interviews? 2 problems were there. Every man was speaking with me only in English, and I didn't know how to answer in English. Idiots did not know that English is just a language. English is not knowledge. The next question, do you have an experience? गधे, कौन सी कॉलेज में एक्सपीरियंस मिलती है? So I then finally got a job in a capsule manufacturing company. The salary for 4 years, 78, 79, 80, 81 was 150, 175, 200 and 225. Not euros per hour. INR per month. One fine day in my village, one boy, hefty, he left school at 6th standard and he went and joined in a spinning mill. So he and me belong to the same age group. So he called one day his friends, hey, come here, come here. And he called me. Arey, what he studied? BSc. What is that? BSc. What I have studied? 6th standard, right? My salary is 1,000 rupees. This guy is begging for 200 rupees. That day I took a decision. I must quit that village. Because I can't sit there and keep educating him. He will only get 1,000 rupees forever. I will get 1 lakh and crore a month. Mind you, that insult forced me to leave that village. Fortunately, that company was closed down. Look at it. You know why I use the word fortunately? I wanted to get married if I become 1,000 rupees salary. I might have remained unmarried even today. So, I had to leave Coimbatore, took a decision. You know, soil, culture, everything is running in the blood. You just can't feel like, I'm sure all of you must be connecting to that. All of you got opportunities elsewhere to go. What stops you? Parents and siblings. Love and affection. Movies and songs. You don't want to leave Rajinikanth's movie and Kamala Hassan's songs and Kannadasan's lyrics because you got addicted to it. Risks and uncertainty. Whenever you go somewhere else, there is a risk. Whenever you go somewhere, there is a risk. In life, you have only two options. Either security or prosperity. You can't get both. You just can't get both. All alone I went in Jayanti Janata Express like every man who fails in South India or Bihar or UP, be it Amitabh or Shah Rukh Khan or Velumani, all go to Mumbai. I also went in a second class unreserved train with 500 rupees in my pocket, and I stayed in VT railway station for 3 nights. Lucky are those who are born to poor. Because success in life is delta. Success in life is delta. Delta is equal to x2 minus x1. x1 is where you were and x2 is where you are. And if x1 was 0, will you ever fail? Lucky are those who are born to poor. And lucky for me, x1 was 0. VT railway station. Today 3,300 crore is the market cap. But delta is 0 to 3,300 crore. So this is the place where I studied for 13, 14 years. You know why I use the word studied? Stupids only work. Intelligence study. You have two options. Either you work or you can think and work. If you only work, you will be there where you are lifelong. If you think and work, you are studying. You are converting salary into stipend. So I want all of you to keep, if you are working somewhere, keep learning because that is important. So, mathematics student, maths, physics, chemistry. When I entered in BRC, in the interview I was asked, tell me where is thyroid? I didn't know, I thought thyroid should be somewhere here. But I didn't tell a wrong answer. I told I don't know. Mind you, in 1982, I did not know where thyroid is. In 1992, I finished a PhD in thyroid pathophysiology. And in 2002, I ran world's largest thyroid testing laboratory. Mind you, if you do what you have studied, you will survive. But if you do what you did not study, you will be the leader. So, me, a gazetted officer. My wife was a bank officer. See, these are all success of working in BRC for 13 long years. My life was very comfortable. My wife, bank officer, and I was 37. And 2 degrees, I worked a lot, suffered a lot for getting 2 children. There was no hard work needed. Right? Comfort zone. Can you imagine? A government office. What a wonderful time. It was 200 days. If you work, it is enough. Alternate days, you can go late because the boss also wants to come alternate days late. You can take tea as long as you want, but keep in your mind you have to go for lunch also. So what and all I learned in BRC? Why did I leave BRC? Leaving BRC is most comfortable job, So most comfortable job is comfort zone, and comfort zones are danger zones. I want to tell all BNI guys, you all get into comfort zone and then you don't grow. You see 5 crores and you think you have got a comfort zone. Whenever you see a comfort zone, kick it out. Get out. You will be more successful. So in Bombay, I used to deliver in the morning newspaper and milk for 2 years, 1 year each. So I learned the geography, I learned culture, everything of Bombay. I did 4 tuitions and 5 jobs at any given day. Because main job, 4 different tuitions. All is because lucky are those who are born to poor. Research, government does research, and in government there is no research happening. 15 years, I researched and researched to find out research is not happening. And all the best is provided, so you are completely opiated. You know what is the word opiated? Opium is making you insensitive to other things. You are so opiated, you will not be able to come out of it. So I thought, what for I have come to Bombay? जीना आया या जीतने आया? ये सवाल मुझसे मैं पूछा. I asked, have you come here just to live or to win? I had to answer for that question. बड़ा होना है या बुढ़ा होना है? बड़ा होना है या बुढ़ा होना है? So I thought I must become big and risk appetite चाहिए. Risk appetite, every entrepreneur should identify a right risk and romance with it. And hair versus hillock. This Tamil solluvaanga. I will first tell you in Tamil because Bangalore, 1/3 or maybe half of the people understand Tamil. Mairakatti Malaya Iluta, Vanda Mala and the Maira. Take a long hair, tie a knot on it, put it on a hill, pull it. If you get a hill, and if you lose, you have just lost a hair. What will I lose? I ask question myself. I came with 500 rupees. What will I lose to go back? Only 500 rupees, right? Oh, the one who is daring to lose, the one who is daring to lose will be the most powerful, successful man on this life. The rest are as such scared, worried, died. In life, either you can discuss or decide. And if you have not decided, then you can't decide, because if you discuss, you can't decide. I left Coimbatore in 1982 without discussing with my father. I only showed him the ticket. He couldn't stop me. In 1986, I married without discussing with my mother. I think all of you are thinking that it was a love marriage. My father-in-law loved me. So he was persuading me again and again. I told I will come and have a look at the girl and then we will discuss. I had a look at the girl. Every man who looks at the girl doesn't like the girl. Because he always thinks, I told you, expectations are the main reasons for divorce and resignations, right? So I saw the girl and I told him, yes, I will come back to you, and I never went back. But all fathers are worried about their daughters. He came again, he came again. Then I thought I should not tell this man at his face, I don't like your daughter. Not nice. I have to treat him with dignity, right? So I told him, I want to talk to her with her for 1 hour. He arranged for an 1 hour discussion. In 1 hour, 55 minutes I talked, and 5 minutes absolute silence. Then I decided I must marry her. Not only that, in that 55 minutes, in my balance sheet, somewhere assets, somewhere liabilities, I transferred all the assets into liabilities, thinking that let this girl tell her father, the boy is not nice. I have no problem. But she went and told her father, I want to marry only this man. So after agreeing to marry and we agreed to, all that formalities are over, the marriage was about to happen. I asked my wife one day, in spite of telling all these things, why did you agree for me? She said, it looked like you were exaggerating like a cinema style. I didn't believe it. The second thing is, you as the right choice for me because I did not want to be a small daughter-in-law in a big house. I want all of you to understand. Someone who wants to be a small daughter-in-law in a big house will remain always small. Someone who wants to be a big daughter-in-law in a small house will always be big. Then I resigned my government job without discussing with my wife. The worst thing on this earth is discussing with the spouse. Please don't do it. Why I didn't discuss with my spouse? The minute I tell, she will tell her father, father-in-law will come, Arey Gade, you are a government officer, that is why I gave you my daughter, what natak you are doing now. Right? I didn't discuss. I took a decision and I resigned and went home. And that night I did not sleep. 2 o'clock early morning, my wife found I am not sleeping. And she asked me, why are you not sleeping? I said, I have resigned my job. Until that time, she was horizontal. Then she became vertical. And she knows I don't tell jokes. There was 30-second silence. Then she asked me, what happens if I also don't go to office from tomorrow? On her bank job strength, I took a decision and resigned and came home. She is giving a dhamki at night, 2 o'clock. If you don't go, I will also not go. Look at the silent drama happening at the middle of the night. Until that time, I was horizontal, then I became vertical. And I also took 30 seconds. And I said to her, Saath jiyenge, saath marenge. We both did not go to office from the very next day. And this is known as decisions. Don't discuss. And I decided to do thyroid test at 100 rupees. 100 rupees. Entire market was doing at 500 rupees. And let me give you what was the analysis and why did I do it. Logic is needed. Those days, thyroid testing reagent was costing $3. All had to be imported and it was $3. And my counterparts, pathologists, were doing the test after buying the reagent, keeping the machine and doing the air conditioning, employee cost, everything, and selling at $10. $3 to $10 is a fair business. Right? I thought I should disrupt. I decided to buy reagent at $3 and give the services at $2. Is that clear? So all of you are shell-shocked. How can you buy reagent at $3, give the service at $2? You will be losing each sample $1. But the true reason, logic behind this idea is, if you buy monthly 100, it is $3. If you buy monthly 1,000, it is $2.5. If you buy monthly 10,000, it is $2. Today I buy 5 million tests, it is $0.50. Is that clear? If you discuss with anyone, will they allow you? They will not allow you. Please don't discuss with yourself. Decide. So then another thing is PET CT at 10,000 rupees. Everywhere in the country they are doing PET CT for 25,000 rupees. I had taken a decision to 10,000 rupees and that is the last decision which I took only 3 years back. It's doing well. This was my dream. Have you people imagined How do you see your market? What am I knowing? What I have? What is the market? If I become the leader, what will happen? So everybody told me, look, thyroid produces 3 hormones. If you focus there, you will not even get roti. This is what people told. You will not get bread to eat also. But I told, country has got 100 crores of thyroid patients. Thyroid mera. Thyroid should be mine. And this 15-gram gland, I saw 1,000 crore. This was in 1995 when Bill Gates did not introduce a window. I had to write it on the overhead projector. This was preserved by my wife. When I crossed 1,000 crore values, he came and told me. I cried for a few minutes. That becomes the most powerful slide. So disruptions, you must know what is disruption because you are all either half entrepreneur or full entrepreneur. But by the by, let me tell you, there are 2 categories. One is self-employed, another is an entrepreneur. And let me differentiate. Self-employed is a man who has only 10 employees, or number of employees and the number of family members are both same. An entrepreneur is an entrepreneur who produces at least 100 jobs in 5 years and keep adding 20%, 10% every year. Please note, you don't otherwise call yourself entrepreneur. This is very important. It should get in your head. If I want to be an entrepreneur, I must aim at something big. Creating jobs is entrepreneur's job.